So the owner of the Jags says he doesn't want to trade Jalen Ramsey. Yeah, that is going to end well. I mean, what's wrong with this guy? Is he a dingbat? Yep, the cowboy, Mr. McLean. You Americans are all alike. But this time, John Wayne doesn't walk into the sunset with Grace Kelly. Scary Cooper, asshole. Oh, dingbat! Oh, shit! Oh, shit! That was crazy! Happy trails, Hans. Dallas still stinks. Yo, everybody do King Dingbat here, I was working on my Mark Holmes rebuttal video from his Dingbatish video about me yesterday, and all I could think about was not Mark Holmes and his hypocrisy. No, not Mark Holmes and his love for Dak Prescott, who stinks. I was thinking, what are the Eagles going to do at corner? What are we going to do at secondary? We got to fix this now. We've got time to fix this now. What are we going to do? And I kind of wanted to talk about that, talk about the latest stuff going on with all the corners out there that we could possibly acquire, because I think we got to make a trade. I think a trade is the only way out of this, okay? But before I do that, I have to give a shout out. I have to give out a shout out to a very, very loyal subscriber, a guy who always treats me really nice, and that is Drones Are Eagles. He's a YouTube channel on here. He does drones, flies drones around, talks Eagles. I'll put the link in the description. Definitely go check him out. Great guy. I just want to thank him for all his support. And definitely check his channel out, Drones Are Eagles. And I appreciate, man, everything you do. So I just wanted to give you a shout out and say thank you. Now, as far as the Eagles go and what's going on with this cornerback situation, the latest with Ramsey is that the owner has come out again, and he said that he doesn't want to trade Jalen Ramsey. Look, when you have this kind of situation where the player doesn't want to play for you, he's got this year and an option year next year on his contract, it's not going to end good for the Jags. This is not going to end good. This is stupid. And not only is it stupid now, but let's say he decides at the end of the year, let's trade Jalen Ramsey in the offseason. Well, you're going to get less than you would right now. Right now is maximum value, okay? Because your team is getting him for this year and next year. If he has only 1 year left, you're going to lose value. If he refuses to play for the Jaguars, what are they going to do? If he doesn't want to sign, what are they going to do? I mean, to me, these situations always end ugly. If a guy comes to me and says, there's no way we can work this out, I need a trade, I don't know that I want the guy on my team, to be honest with you. And I don't care how good he is. And Jalen Ramsey is a generational talent. He is a generational talent, a Hall of Fame talent. And that's why he's so intriguing to me for the Eagles. But they say they don't want to trade him. Now, what I heard, because there's a lot of speculation that was 2-1s, I heard 3-1s, but from some people that I actually trust, what I heard was the Eagles had offered a 1 and a 2, and initially the front office was liked it. Whatever the deal was, it was a 1-2, maybe something else. And it kind of went through the front office, went up the chain to Coughlin. Coughlin liked the offer, and then the owner shot it down. And that's what happened. It made it happen to Baltimore too. There were reports that happened to Baltimore, and there were some guys saying that it happened with the Eagles. So who knows what's really going on? But the owner is pretty much saying he doesn't want to trade him. The front office will trade him. It sounds like the front office let him go. So the owner is keeping football people from making football decisions. That is a bad, bad sign for the Jaguars. Now, let's just say he's not going to trade him. He's going to hold Jalen Ramsey prisoner the rest of the year, because that's what this is. It's holding him prisoner. Okay, you're holding a guy. You might as well get max value while you can. And it's why I think that leading up the next few weeks, when the Jags drop the next 2 games, I think you're going to see maybe him change his mind. Maybe when you get closer to deadline, we'll have to watch out for it. But let's just say, for argument's sake, Ramsey's off the table. Can't get him. The guy I want, the guy I'm focused on, is Xavier Howard. That's the guy. That's where I go. the Miami Dolphins. And the reason I like Xavier Howard is, one, he could be a shutdown corner. Two, he's 26 years old. See, I don't mind giving up the picks when I'm getting a guy that's going to be there 4 or 5 years and he's young. We have the second oldest roster in the National Football League. We keep bringing in older guys. It's not helping us. We got to get younger and better, and he checks off those boxes. So I would definitely take a chance on going after Xavier Howard. I always think that the Eagles. I always think about when we got Troy Vincent from the Miami Dolphins, and maybe that's why I assume Howard would work out. But I want Xavier Howard. If I can't get Jalen Ramsey, he's my second choice, no doubt about it. Now, my third choice, and really this is if it comes to this, because I don't have any other choices, I think you have to go Chris Harris Jr. out of Denver. Now, he is a very good corner. He's a Pro Bowl caliber corner. My issue is the age. It's the age. I hate giving up mid-round picks for 30-year-old guys. 30-year-old guys tend to get hurt more. We're already the second oldest roster in the National Football League. But you know what? We might not have a choice. We might not have a choice right now, because the fact of the matter is, if Ramsey's off the table, if Xavier Howard's off the table, then I think you have to go this way. And I would have no problem. He would help immediately, but he would probably be a one-year wonder, maybe two for us, and then he's gone. So we're going to be back in the same situation. But it is what it is. I heard something really interesting on 97.5 The Fanatic with Anthony Gargano. He was talking about Denver, and Denver's pretty much may become a fire sale. Okay, and obviously people have talked about Von Miller getting traded, Chris Harris Jr. getting traded, but one name he mentioned that I thought was really interesting and really worthwhile was Emmanuel Sanders. Emmanuel Sanders is 32, he's older, but he's a better slot player, he's a better slot receiver than Aguilar. And two, he would provide insurance for the Eagles. He would provide insurance for the Eagles with Deshaun Jackson. If Deshaun Jackson can't come back, if he's not healthy, if he doesn't have his full speed, you could put Emmanuel Sanders on the outside and he would give you that speed threat that we're missing. Not to the same level as Deshaun, but he could at least keep defenses honest, because I really feel like that speed threat on the outside is a big issue for us. I think it takes a good offense and it makes us an elite offense. So I would be up for something where you got like Chris Harris Jr. and Emmanuel Sanders in some sort of package deal, if they could pull it off. But I just thought that was an interesting idea, and I thought it was worth talking about, because I think, I talked about my concerns yesterday, and that being corner, pass rush, and speed wide receiver Deshaun Jackson. So if we can take care of two of those problems, then hey, you know what? It would be pretty good. So you could look at something like that, Now the question always becomes when you add a secondary player is that basically people say, oh, you could add this guy or that guy, but is Jim Schwartz going to make them play the sticks? Is he going to let them do what they do best? And that's a great question. And that is one of the reasons why I want Jalen Ramsey, because Jalen Ramsey may be, in my opinion, the only guy that can command enough respect from Schwartz where he has no choice. Okay, where he has no choice. I think with Harris Jr., that's a legitimate question. With Xavier Howard, I think that could be a legitimate question. But with Jalen Ramsey, I don't think that's a legitimate question. I think Schwartz would do it in a second. He knows what Jalen Ramsey is. Generational talent. So that's why I'm one of the reasons out of many that I'm attracted to getting Jalen Ramsey. I think he's a generational talent. He's 24 years old. But I think he commands enough respect around the league and to coaches that a Jim Schwartz would say, do what you do. Would he say that with Chris Harris Jr.? Would he say that with Xavier Howard? I don't know. Now, not everything is Jim Schwartz's fault, okay? A lot of people blame him for a lot of things. I think sometimes he is to blame. But other times, I watch Devontae Adams go 5 yards, turn around, catch the ball. I see Vontae Maddox taking bad angles. I see this guy taking bad angles. And he turns it up 30, 40 yards. I mean, you know how many times I've seen guys catch short passes that should only pretty much end right there? And guys miss tackles, take bad angles, and it goes for 30, 40, 50 yards. Happens every week, okay? This secondary stinks. Let's face the facts. Right now they stink. And I don't know how you fix it. But it ain't all Jim Schwartz's fault. And some of it is. I mean, he gets some blame. But like I said, when I see guys go 2-3 yard outs and catch the ball and turn it up 40 yards and nobody tackles them, I'm not gonna blame Schwartz on that. I mean, some of the angles, it's just horrendous. Now, we're going to get Jalen Mills back at some point. We're going to get Craven LeBlanc back. I don't know how much that's going to help. I don't know how you fix this without making a trade. I'm not saying it's impossible, but I don't know how you do it. I think you have to make a trade. And the reason I'm pressing so hard for a trade right now, is because we got time. We got time. Once that trade deadline comes, and once it's impossible, once it's done, what are we going to do? We got to make a trade. We got to make a move. Oh, speaking of trades, here's an interesting fact breaking today. Stephon Diggs, the wide receiver out of Minnesota, he wants out. He skipped practices and stuff, and now they're saying today at Pro Football Talk, he wants a trade. He doesn't like how they run their offense and those kind of things. Stephon Diggs is a great player. Would I love if the Eagles had him? Sure. But that's not what I'm thinking about. What I'm thinking about is we play Minnesota in 2 weeks. I love that they're in turmoil. I love that they're fighting inside, and this hopefully continues. And you know what? It hopefully works to our advantage when we play them. So we got to keep an eye on that. But there's a lot of guys that want to get moved around the league. Let's see what happens. As far as the Eagles, you got to get a corner, man. I think you got to get a corner. I would hate to go to the playoffs and lose a game 38-35, 35-30, something like that, because the secondary could not hold up, and that scares the crap out of me. I am scared of our secondary. It's just the truth. I mean, you tell me one reason why I should think that our secondary is going to be okay as is. I can't. I mean, when Darby, Sidney Jones, Vontae Maddox were all healthy, they were still getting beat. I think the only way to fix this is you gotta go out and get somebody. Now, maybe they can fix and tighten up, I'm sure. Carson, the offense, is really good. They can win a lot of games by scoring points. But I think right now we have a chance to go do something. We got to go do it. Howie Roseman, get it done. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. With that said, take care. Talk to you later. Don't be a dingbat.